Annoying people, whether they're blood relatives or friends or bosses, do you allow them to get in the way of your prosperity? Hey, how you doing? I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight, RNK for short. This is the Deliberate live stream, and our affirmation for today is I am one with the divine, and that makes me a majority. I was having this conversation with a client actually about, it was for them, it was their boss, and it was also a relative who was treating them really not so great. Okay, not, you know how sometimes people, they're not obvious in the way they treat you badly. They kind of sneakily treat you badly. You get this feeling that something isn't quite right here, but you feel you should put up with it, and so you keep putting up with it, only to discover, except you start to feel really yuck about it, and so then you're not sure what to do or what not to do. And because you're such a lovely spiritual person, you don't want to be the one to say, go away from me, basically. But maybe you need to be the one that says, go away from me, actually. But you want to be nice and all of this and all of the other. And I kind of wanted to address that today, because this is it. And the reason why the affirmation is, I am one with the divine, and that is a majority, is because one of the biggest reasons why people put up with other people's nonsense is that feeling or that fear, especially as spiritual people, that fear that one, the divine is going to be against you and you need to love just any old how, or your love is defined as people walking all over you, which is not necessarily the truth. Or also that you feel like if you do start to tell people really what you think, that you'll be alone. And being alone is one of the things that scares the living daylights out of you, so you'd rather put up with nonsense than be alone. And I want to get you back into, almost take this as an affirmation treatment. Let this be your prescription here. That you start to remind yourself who you really truly are, okay? You start to remind yourself who you really truly are. You are created in the image, likeness of the divine. But this is the thing, when you allow these cray-cray people, as much as you may love them, when you allow them to get in the way of your life, you are ultimately saying, or you're telling the universe that you're not worthy of good things. You must, in some ways, especially when it starts to feel yuck, even if it's not obvious, because sometimes people can be very passive aggressive about their annoying ways, basically. And I get that, sometimes people don't come out right and tell you that they think you're irritating or whatever, or they don't come out right and make you feel bad. They just kind of cunningly say things that make you feel bad. This is not everyone, of course, but I'm just saying, if you're in that situation where you do feel as though you're being either taken advantage of, or that people are not speaking to you appropriately or speaking of you appropriately, that you find the courage inside of you to start saying no, even if it's not obvious, even if it feels as if you might be overreacting. You say no. You say no. No, this is not allowed to happen to me. No, I don't want you to treat me this way. No. And you know what, some people are very well versed at making you feel stupid for saying something about it. Doesn't matter. Still say what you need to say, and still refuse to allow people to treat you badly. In fact, there were 3 things that I particularly want to talk about, but before that, let's sing this affirmation, actually. And I want you to take this into your day, okay? I don't give you these affirmations just for the sake of joy, although, yes, joy too. I also want you to let the words seep into your system, okay? So that it becomes your reality. So here we go. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. So I want you to take that into you. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. So for one, it's time to get your self-respect back on, okay? So where you are just kind of allowing people to make you feel in some way less than who you are, just say no. It's time to start asking for what you want. It's time to start saying no to what you don't want. That is completely up to you to make that decision to actually do this. Okay, it's like I was speaking to this client and we had to come up with ways of approaching certain circumstances with her job in order to ensure that this didn't keep happening. Okay, number two, no fear. It's okay to eliminate some people from your life. It really is. Regardless of how close they are to you, if they are consistently, persistently making you feel terrible, it is okay to eliminate them from your life, even temporarily, just until you build up enough strength to see what is actually really getting to you. Okay, it's okay. You can handle it that way. You can literally just say, no, you know what, for a season, until I invite you, you're not allowed around me, or whatever. Unless I call you, can we just kind of take a little bit of a break and we'll be back in touch soon, or maybe never. You don't have to say maybe never. You can just say soon. Okay, I just need to take a little bit of a break. I'm finding a few difficulties with our relationship. Can we take a break? Okay. And now number three here is, you know what? Prosperity comes to you when you're bold. When you're boldly asking for the things that you desire, boldly going after your purpose, boldly going after your calling. You have to be bold. And so when you are putting up with the nonsense from cray-cray people, you are limiting your bravery, you're limiting your boldness, and therefore it's going to be affecting other areas of your life, okay? So this isn't just about you feeling good for a second here, though yes, we want you to feel good, okay? Because frankly, when you're in a feeling good state, then you're more likely to thrive, okay? But more than that, it's also about, this is your life, okay? You don't put up with stuff that makes you feel down. You don't put up with stuff that makes you feel manipulated or used. You don't. You can say no. And in fact, you must say no in order for you to open yourself up to, this is part of increasing your consciousness here, is having the courage to say no to things that don't feel good to you. Okay? So prosperity comes as you are bold. Everything affects everything. Don't think that just because this it's just my relationships, it doesn't really matter. It does matter. It will affect how you're allowing people to treat you in your relationships, how you'll allow people to treat you in your business or in your work, and how you'll allow whether you'll allow money or even health. Because after a bit of being treated this way, do you think it's not going to affect your body? Of course it is. So it is imperative that you start checking yourself for areas where it doesn't feel right, and you find the courage to do something about it. Okay, let's sing this affirmation and bring this to a close. Share this with somebody else. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. I am one with the divine, and that is a majority. Okay, so that's the affirmation. Take it into your day. Actually use it. Let it seep into you. But yeah, if you haven't done a miracle experiment, manifest a prosperity miracle experiment, then honey, you need to do it, okay? The stuff I talk about here, it is to support you in stepping into more. Why? Because as you step into more, you cannot help but impact the people around you, okay? And we are about impacting the people around us, about changing the world for good, okay? So you need to be able to step into prosperity yourself first, and then be able to show others the way just by being you. So come and join me for this experiment. Come and test out a few simple prosperity principles, put them to the test in your life, and see what happens. Go register. Let's get started, okay? Much amazing, amazing love. You are one with the divine, and that it makes you a majority. Much